Thank you all so much for joining us early and on time. My name is Joyce Amable, and I will be your moderator for tonight's workshop. So, just a quick recap. This is mapping your next move from vision to action, a virtual vision board and action planning workshop for youth and young professionals. And just to clarify a bit, the purpose of this is to support young people and young professionals who I believe most of us fall under this category so that we can gain clarity about our personal and professional goals while also equipping us with practical tools to turn our vision into actionable steps. So, for being here today, here are some of the things that you stand to gain. One, we are going to have reflective space for all the participants here, including myself, so that we can develop greater self-awareness. Also, as participants, we will be supported in defining clear personal and professional goals. We will also be guided to create vision boards that visually represent our aspirations, and we will also be equipped with practical action planning strategies to move from vision to implementation. Some of the activities for today will include self-awareness reflection, goal setting, vision board creation, action planning, and interactive discussions. So this is just to say that we want this workshop to be very engaging. So at any point in time, let's use the emojis, let's use the chats to just when our speakers are speaking and we feel like some of the points are very valid, let's just try and then be very engaging. So, without much ado, I would want us to have a brief word from our very own lady, Juliet. I believe if you are here, you don't need an introduction to Lady Juliet, but as our honorable host, we would just want to hear a few words from her, and then we can invite our other facilitators to just introduce themselves a bit, and then we can properly begin the session. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Okay, so those who are saying you can't hear, can you hear us now? I
Oh,
think there
really?
are two people that wrote in the chat, Vera, okay, and then there is like Zoom user. They mentioned they can't hear, so okay, thank you. And I think some of you also have the Zoom user. I would really appreciate that you change it to your like actual name so that in case they want to engage you, they'll be able to. So I'm not ready, but let's go. So I'm Lady Juliet Nyarko Adansi, and I'm the host for today's session, which is Mapping Your Next Move 2026. And we are looking to move all our ideas, our goals from vision to action. So I'm the founder for Joya Foundation, and Joya Foundation is a very young baby, a new nonprofit organization, which is joint opportunities for yielding Africa Foundation, and our main goal is to empower the young people and then also women and girls in Africa through our various programming, education, and then leadership opportunities to to promote African development. We believe that as young Africans, we have all what it takes to move our country forward, to move our continent forward. We just need the right platform, the right exposure, and then the to build our capacity to do that. And so that's why we started off with mapping your next move. And it's a virtual vision board session, but this is kind of different from most of the vision board workshops that we've mostly had. Most of the time we just join to create vision boards, but I know that there are most of us that we are either very new to vision boards or we create the vision boards, but we don't really have any idea on how to go about it. You don't even really know much. You've not mastered yourself enough to learn your own strengths and weaknesses in order to know how to approach the goals that you have set. You don't really have any action plan that would guide you or strategy that would guide you to achieve what you have listed on the vision board. So the vision board just becomes like a replica of your New Year resolution, and then year in, year out, you see you are repeating the same thing on the list, but then you are not really making any progress. So we're hoping that after this session, you gain more clarity, you'll be able to be self-aware, you know yourself, your weaknesses, your strength, how to even strengthen the weaknesses you have, and then how to set goals properly, like smart, achievable goals, and then also set action plans that would help you to realize the goals that you have set and the vision boards, whatever that you've listed on it. So it's promised to be a very engaging and exciting session with all of us. So please let's engage. If you have any questions, you need clarity, and please share the link with your colleagues to also join us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lady Juliet. That was wonderful. Now, if you need maybe one more reason why you should watch this workshop or you should stay in this workshop till the very end, I just want to quickly chip in that vision boards are super important. And personally, some of the current realities I am living currently have been on my vision board. So Habakkuk 2 verse 2, when was Habakkuk 2 verse 2 was right when it said that write the vision and make it plain. And that is one of the things that we will be doing here today. Now, I am really excited about the facilitators who will be on this workshop with us today. I went over on LinkedIn, their Instagram, I read their bios, and I was really impressed. And that is just one of the assurances you need to know that you are in good hands over here today. So we have Mrs. Emmaline Datey, who is a youth development strategist, the CEO of ICS Africa, and then Mr. Benjamin Opoku, who is the founder and lead career strategist of HUB Career. Now, I want our facilitators to just unmute and then introduce themselves as properly, because I feel like introductions like this are more appreciated when we hear them from the people's own mouths. So without further ado, I would like to call on Miss Emmaline Datey to kindly unmute and then introduce herself to us shortly.
Good evening, everybody. It's lovely to be here. My name is Emmaline Datey, and for the purpose of this session, I'm a career and personal development coach. I enjoy helping young people identify their God-given talents, and I guide them through their career journey. And I'm excited to impact you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Emmaline. And I also want to welcome Mr. Benjamin Opoku. Kindly tell us a little bit about himself and then you can proceed.
Is Ben on? I don't think I see him.
Is it confirmed that?
No, he's not on yet. He hasn't joined yet. I've sent him the link, so I think we can proceed. When he joins later, he can.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Now, over to us, the audience. If you have committed to spending 2 hours of your day here, then I want to make the very correct assumption that you really want to get something out of this workshop today. Trust me, one of the things I learned very on is that whatever workshop, webinar, or literally anything that you spend your time committing to, you should have some form of expectation for it, because that is literally hours or minutes of your time that you are giving out and you won't gain it back. So just quickly, I just want about 3 people to maybe unmute and then tell us their expectations for this webinar. Who will go first? Hi, audience. Anyone? If you're unable to speak, you can type it out in the chat as well, and then we'll just read it for everyone. So who wants to go first? What are your expectations for joining tonight's workshop? Remember, this is 2 hours of your time, and you should be here to gain something out of it at least. Okay, Vera. Thank you so much, Vera, for being the first person to want to share your expectations with us. So kindly unmute and then let us know. We are all ears.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vera
Hi.
doing. So, I signed up for this session so that I'll be able to make good use of my time. As you all know, we're making a lot of New Year resolutions, but then mid-year we fall out of whatever motivation or anything. Yeah, so I want to get the requisite skills to be able to actually make a solid vision board not just for a year, but like, let's say about a 5-year plan for my life. Yeah. That's what I
Oh,
look forward to. Thank you.
interesting. Interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, Vera. You are absolutely in the right room today. Who else wants to go next? Next person. Let's see if there is any hand up.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Francis. My expectation is to network and also connect with new people. Although we are looking at our career and other things, but upon doing all this, I also want to network with other people to engage them to know what they are into, and if I can partner with them, I do so. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Apia Francis. If you don't mind me asking, what do you do? Because if you are here to network, then it means we'd likely want to know some of the things you do, and that way people can know about you. And as the session goes on, you can know about people, other people as well. So if you don't mind, just briefly, what do you do? What are you about? Just basic stuff like that.
All right, so right now I am a general ledger accountant at World Vision, but I'm open-minded about any partnership, any opportunity.
Okay, please, did I hear you say World Vision, HR at World Vision?
General ledger accountant at World Vision.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Hopefully during the course of the workshop, you will find your people and your people will find you as well. And then the networking and partnerships can move on from there. Thank you so much. Last person, anyone wants to share with us their expectation for tonight's workshop, and then we move on. Let's see. Last person, you don't need to put your hand up, just unmute yourself and speak. Let's make it snap.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Frank Mills. Hi.
Hi. Good evening to you all.
Good evening, Mr. Frank Mills. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you all?
I'm blessed.
We thank God. Yes, I saw your post on Facebook. I tried to join to see what you are doing. It's good to be here. I've been on the field for many years now, but
Wow.
of course, it's good to come around to see what are the new things. I realize you are recording this meeting with AI, something new, right? So some of us, yes, we've been gone, far gone, but of course we need to come back. I heard Francis was mentioning networking. I think yes, we want to either impact and also get impacted because your path is different. AI is the new thing. We've been doing this without even cameras, and today we are here with cameras, recording projects and all that. So yeah, I want to see how you go about this vision board. Yes, we have a vision and mission. We've gone through all this, but it will be very nice to come here. That's why I'm here, to just listen to your mapping. I want to see how you're going about it. Yeah, I'm from Hope and Service to Mankind Foundation, founder, CEO, Floating Crystals Academy, Sports for Change. Yes, we're doing a lot, and that's just briefly. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Frank Mills. I'm actually very excited on your behalf because I can feel the excitement coming from you too. So I'm just hoping that whatever happens in this workshop tonight, we will be able to meet your expectations as the younger generation, of course. And we also absolutely do not mind learning from you as well. So yes, thank you once again. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have heard from our 3 participants, And without much ado, I would want us to move on to the first session for tonight with Miss Emmaline Datey on self-awareness and goal setting. So, Miss Emmaline Datey, over to you.
Okay, give me a few. I thought I was on 7:25, but it looks like you've got me forward. So give me some time to upload and share my presentation. I hope I'm able to share.
Yes, please, you're able to.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you're able to.
Well, while we wait for her to share her screen with all of us, anyone else wants to share their expectations for tonight? We would love to hear from you.
Oh, no. Where's my iPhone?
Hello? Anyone else wants to share their expectations? You can kindly just unmute and then share with us.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Isaac, and I know Juliet from KNUST. We even live in the same community, attend the same church, and so I know her, Lady Juliet. If you can hear me, there's Isaac from Pentecost,
Yeah.
and then yes, and
Bompata.
social. Is it Bompata?
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Yeah. Social work, chemistry.
Yes.
Oh,
I've
thank
seen
you.
the amazing work you're doing. Honestly, like we've been doing a lot, and I must commend you on your diligence.
Thank
So
you.
I'm here to. I actually don't have any expectation, probably to be surprised or learn more. I just wanted to acknowledge myself to know that I follow you everywhere.
Oh,
All right, so that's the least I can say for now.
thank you so much for this wonderful submission, Isaac.
All
And
right, thank
for
you.
anyone on call, I am currently in KNUST, so it feels nice to know that this workshop has connected two former mates from KNUST as well. Just the
Yes,
chicken. Yeah.
yes.
But yes, you want to be surprised tonight, and I am also betting that you'll be pleasantly surprised during the workshop.
Amen. I hope to.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay. Miss Emmaline, we can see your presentation now. Should we give you a few more minutes while we accept?
I don't know. Ready?
Pardon?
I'm ready if you are. I'm ready if
Okay.
you are.
Okay, thank you so much for the feedback. So, our facilitator is ready for us, and
Okay, so
I want to
Joyce,
ask
please a minute. Sorry for interrupting, but please so before our first facilitator comes as we welcome it, please let's spend some few minutes to follow our various social media platforms. It's been shared and pinned in the comments, and also our WhatsApp community, so that we can be updated on follow-up sessions and recordings from this session and every other resources. So Joyce, you can take on. Sorry.
Sorry. No apologies needed. Thank you so much for that, Juliet. So yes, please take just a few seconds of your time to follow the page. It's in the chat as Lady Juliet mentioned. And then we can have our facilitator now. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Joyce and Lady Juliet. And good evening to my cherished young leaders. It's such a joy, always a joy to be with young people. My heart is always young. At 42, going to 43, I still feel like I am, in my 20s. Anytime I get a chance to speak to young people, my heart becomes full because I know I'm speaking to possibility. I'm speaking to the future. I'm speaking to greatness. I'm speaking to greatness that is still unfolding. So all of you here, as Joyce kept saying, your 2 hours spending your data, you might as well have not joined. But once you are here, make sure you have a return on the investment. If you bought data of 50 CDs, 100 CDs, you must make sure you leave here a different person. Take advantage of it, because some people like us that come on, we charge a lot. So if you are here and Juliet has gotten it for you at a complimentary fee, then please get angry with your destiny and take it by force. Because 5 years from now, you cannot be the same. You also have to be seen to be somebody who is about to also change people's lives. Okay, we do this because we believe in changing people's lives. So today I want us to have a conversation. Okay, we are not here to lecture anybody. We are here to talk about self-awareness and goal setting. Now, I'm sure you've heard this a lot of times, but we're not going to deal with it in an abstract format, how you see it in a lot of motivational quotes, but we're going to deal with it in real, practical, lived way, something that is relevant and close to you, okay? And the way that shapes your mindset, a way that shapes your choices, a way that shapes your friendships, your courage, and eventually your future. I always say that you need to live a life of intentionality. If you don't live an intentional life, I'm sorry. No matter how many events you attend, your life will remain the same. Now at 42, going to 43, I started my journey at 17. All right? I started the road to self-discovery at 17. And I had a lot of learning, service, failing to do. And at my age, I am grateful to God for where I am, but I haven't gotten to where I need to be. I need to move from impact to income. I have influence, I have making impact, but you need to translate impact and influence into income. But the journey to impact and influence is long. If you don't start early, you are going to work for people and you will earn what they think you deserve. There are 17, 18, 19, 20 years people earning millions. They obviously are not in Africa, but they are human beings like you and I. And we need to change that narrative. We need to change. The Asians are making it at 17 and above. Americans, Europeans, why not Africans? Let me tell you a story. There is a young man, let's call him Kweku. Kweku felt stuck in life and he said, "Madam, all my friends are moving ahead of me. Some are in the university, some are abroad, some are making money, but I feel behind." After talking for a while, I realized something powerful. Kweku was not behind. Kweku was just not aware. He didn't know his strengths. He didn't know what made him come alive. Kweku did not know that values mattered the most to him. So you know what he was doing, like you and I do? Kweku was measuring his journey with somebody else's ruler. So you sit down and you think you have failed. You've not failed. You don't know who you are. Self-awareness is not just knowing yourself. It's knowing your lane, knowing your rhythm, knowing your gifts, knowing your triggers and your possibilities. By the time Kweku was done identifying himself, so just like an event like yours, he discovered his strength was in public speaking and leadership, something he never considered to be an important skill. Everything shifted for Kweku. Later, Kweku became the SRC president the following year. I have a similar story. Kweku's story is similar to mine. I graduated from senior high when I was 16. I was eager to explore, go to the next stage of my life. My brothers and sisters, 16 years, it took me 9 years to get into the university because I kept failing math and chemistry. I thought that I was supposed to be a medical doctor because I was the firstborn of a medical doctor and a midwife. So obviously, I need to follow the path of my parents. I was using the ruler of my mom and dad to measure my destiny, and I kept failing. Failure is painful. Oh my God. Especially when you know you are not, dumb. When you know that you are smart, it hurts. And I didn't know what to do. I suffered low self-esteem. I wanted to commit suicide. I hated myself. I hated God. I felt sick every time. But the doctor will tell you there's nothing wrong with you. One day, I sat outside and I asked a fundamental question. I said, God, what was I made for? Who am I? You hear the joke, who am I? God, who am I? And God laughed and said, now who told you I wanted you to be a doctor? Who told you I wanted you to go into science, be a pharmacologist? I tried everything scientific because we were told that science students are the brightest, the smartest in life. So I didn't call you to do all that too. And all those times I was helping people identify. I started mentoring people from 17. People were going ahead of me and I was static. And when the Lord opened my eyes that I was supposed to be studying human resource management, I stopped failing. Self-awareness helps you to answer 4 critical questions. Who am I? What do I want? Why do I want it? And what environment will help me thrive? Now, in Ghana today, the youth are surrounded by so much pressure, social media pressure. Oh my God, even me. It has got to a point where now social media, I'm getting frustrated because I'm seeing people younger than me going. I'm like, oh God, hold up. I've been on this journey since I was 16. Lord, why am I not where they are? What is going on? Family pressure. You are growing older. Blah, 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 blah. By now, you should have a this. You should have a that. Then economic pressure. African pressure is no joke, guys. Now, without self-awareness, these pressures will shape our decisions more than our purpose. So it got to a point, depression was trying to come and visit me. I said, hey, depression, me and you, we are not close friends. Cry. I've dealt with you in my past. I'm not bringing you back in my future. I had to go back to remind myself of who I am, to stop comparing myself, remembering that comparison is the thief of joy. Self-awareness protects you from comparison. It grounds your confidence. It sharpens your words, direction. And so you need to be able to focus on who you are and not measure your life by Juliet, by Patience, by Francis. Measure by your own standards. Because everybody has something to offer. There's a story about another lady. She's called Abna. Brilliant girl. Always had bright ideas, that could change the world. But Abna never spoke up. Every time Abna would dim her lights. When I asked her, she would say, I don't think my ideas are good enough. Now, Abna's problem was not that she wasn't intelligent. She didn't know who she was. She didn't realize her unique way of thinking. And this was a strength that many people wish they had, even including myself. But by the special grace of God, when she finally embraced it, she started a youth community project that won an award. I have so many of these mentees on my platform. Sometimes your greatness is showing up. Sometimes your greatness is looking at you in your face, but you cannot see it. You are the last person to see it. That is why self-awareness is the starting point of your journey towards greatness. I have a mentee called Clifford. Clifford today is a highly sought-after tech professional. I met Clifford, was it 29? I can't remember. In my LinkedIn chat. Clifford was 4 hours away to committing suicide. He lived somewhere in the Bono regions, somewhere there. He had gone on LinkedIn to message everybody he could think of, and nobody minded him. When I responded, that was the time his life changed. He lived from living alone, hunger, working as a concrete worker, getting robbed, living in uncompleted buildings, no food, no money. Today, he's a graduate. Now he's choosing jobs left, right, center. He was approached by a CEO of one of the leading tech companies in Ghana to be a national service person. Now he's working for a Dubai company. He wants to leave. Other options are coming. He's been speaking on Microsoft platforms and all that because his eyes were opened. He had the opportunity to find a mentor that made his eyes open. To build self-awareness, you need to start by exploring your values, what you stand for, your strengths, what comes naturally to you, your weaknesses, not for shame, but for strategy, your passions, what is you. You need to know your triggers, what pisses you off, what makes you upset. And then, this is love, your support system. Who do you have in your camp that lifts you higher? This is how you become your own GPS. You know, the GPS on your phone and all that. Very, very important. What values do you have? What strengths do you have? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What makes you so exciting? When you know who you are, your goals stop being random. They begin to align with your identity, not with public pressure. Underline it all. That is when you start working with clarity and confidence. So you go on social media or you see your friends and all that. Self-awareness doesn't make you break. Self-awareness doesn't make you go under. Self-awareness doesn't make you bend. Very, very, very important. Make sure that failure is not something you run away from. Failure is a turning point for you. I mentioned about what? Mentorship. Spoken about. And remember, self-awareness is ongoing. It doesn't happen at my age, at 42, going to 43. I'm still discovering myself. I want to become a sought-after commercialized brand in my area of specialty. That is where I am now working on. I've known who I am for a long time, but I'm discovering another level of me I've never discovered before because now I need to commercialize who I am. Remember, your vision board, your goal setting is useless if the end goal does not bring you money. Without money, you cannot make an impact in anybody's life. You cannot be influential because money opens doors. Money is physical and it can be in form of human capital. It's what we call people currency. Some of you are rich in people, but you are broke in your pockets. Transform or convert that people currency into money. Keep discovering yourself. Keep pushing who you are. Baby steps. Stop comparing. Focus on your lane. The more you compare, the more you don't move anywhere. Now let's talk about the SMART frame. We've all heard about the SMART goal, SMART goal, SMART goal. So let's look at another way. We know is, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. But I have another formula. Simple. Don't complicate your first step. Simplicity brings consistency. Your goals must be simple. 2, meaningful. Make sure you choose goals that matter to you. And then actionable. Make sure you focus on what you can do every day. What you can do, not what Amma is doing, what you can, not what Kweku is doing, not what Clifford is doing, not what Miss Emmaline is doing, what you can do. Be resource aware. Set goals based on what you have now, not what you hope to have. That is why sometimes setting goals becomes so far from us. And obviously, time bound. Make sure your timelines motivate you. Don't set timelines that intimidate you. Please. Very, very important. What are the actionable steps you can take? Here's what you can commit to. Remember that your daily habits become your character. So if you keep doing something all the time, it becomes you. So you can do a daily 10-minute self-awareness routine. It's difficult for you to self-aware by default. Journal, reflect, pray, meditate, ask yourself good questions. I told you, I got to a point where I got, okay, who am I? What did you birth me for? And then you can set one clear goal for the next 90 days. One. You don't need to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just one. What you do, the Bible talks about, for those of you who are Christians, whatever your hand finds to do it well. Do it with excellence. And then find an accountability partner for check-ins, honest feedback. Don't look for friends that will get you into trouble, please. Very important. And make sure you build an enabling environment. If where you are is not helping you, make sure you create one that is stronger than your willpower. Just create it. If you can't create it, leave and move to where a location that will help you. I once coached a lady, she wanted to be a baker, but she had no oven, no carpenter, nothing. But what she did was to have passion. She was a curious person. And then she found out that she has a neighbor that has an oven. Now, instead of saying, I don't have capital, she asked, what can I do what I have now? So you know what she did? She had an agreement with the neighbor, started baking once a week with the neighbor's oven, and then eventually saved up to buy her own tabletop oven. Today, she's supplying pastries to 3 offices in Accra. Listen, the goals you see, your vision board that you create, you can put the most luxurious and elaborate things on it, but you need to set realistic, relatable, resource-aware, actionable, meaningful, simple steps to get there. You want to become, an international speaker. What do you need to do? Start going for, reading about how to be a great speaker. Start moving around great speakers. Get mentored. Get trained. Practice speaking at your church, at your school, at your house, at parties. Don't run away. Simple step. Go on YouTube. Learn about public speakers. Learn the style, the aura, the vibe of the kind of speakers you want. Create your own niche, your brand, and boom, social media. Create your page. Have a strong digital presence. Make sure your pictures are on point. Great colors, great content. You need to be intentional. So if I asked you, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your traits? What do you have with you? What makes you unique? What makes you great? What makes you weak? What makes you fail? What makes you stutter? Know thyself. Know thyself. There is a version of you haven't met yet. There is a stronger you. There is a more confident you. There's a wiser you. There is a you that can achieve the things your family never achieved. Some of you here are going to break the cycle in your home. You're going to break the pattern of poverty, the pattern of waste in your family. But to become that version of you, you must start by knowing who you are today and setting goals that will make sure you create and value that identity that God has given you. Never think that you are behind. Never think you are late. Never think you are useless. Always tell yourself, I am becoming. Put your hand on your chest and tell yourself, I am becoming. I am not late. My journey is just layered. I am not late. My journey is late. I am becoming. The more you focus on positivity and action, please, instead of you complaining, Why am I here? What actions do I need to take to get out of where I am? Is the most empowering mindset you can have. Have a growth mindset. After doing all of this, trust me, the world will be grateful. The world will be happy. The world will clap for your brilliance, for your uniqueness, for your God-given resilience and intentionality. Value yourself. You need to have faith and be courageous to take these steps I have taught you. Take the steps. Don't just listen to the motivation. Be the motivation. Thank you very much for your time. I'm rooting for you. God bless you.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. I don't want to assume I enjoyed that session because I'm sections. My notes is full now. I don't know if you can see, but it's currently full. I have written a lot. So, Miss Emmaline, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time and efforts that you have spent with us tonight. And I am pretty sure that those of us who have taken notes, when we leave this workshop, we will go back to the notes and then go through everything that we have heard here today. And of course, this session is being recorded. So for those who want to hear it for second, third, fourth, fifth, and those who want to hear it over and over again, let's just hope that we'll have access to the recording, because I, for instance, I know I want to listen to this again. Really. Now, and yes, I'm reading the chat. Someone said, I am not late. My journey is just layered. I felt that. And I have it in my notes as well. So once again, Miss Emmaline, so much. I don't know how words can convey how we feel right now, but we are just grateful. We are grateful for the time that you have been spending with us. Jacqueline is in the comments saying, I am becoming. Yes, we are all becoming. We are. We are. The comments are showing the real love. And I'm grateful that there are 79 of us in this meeting room who have listened to your words this evening. Ode says it's power packed. Exactly. That is the exact definition. Lady Juliet, please, are you ready for us?
I think we should end the session. What do you think?
Because she has raised the bar.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss Emmaline. I don't know, there's nothing more to do. I mean, after this, if you need any other tech talk, then I don't know what else that would keep you moving. I don't know what else that would really move you to find yourself and to really pursue your journey. Thank you so much once again. I think we just can't get over this message tonight. And as Joyce said, I'm really glad this session is being recorded so that we can continually soak this in. Thank you so much. And I mean, all of us can relate to this, especially in this social media generation. Those of us on LinkedIn, you wake up every day, it seems something is happening for someone. Like you're always seeing something happening, and then you just feel like, God, what's happening? Like, am I behind? And sometimes it's just like you are just not pursuing what you have been structured for. You're not just on the right path. So thank you so much, Miss Emmaline. And as she said, if if um if you're not self-aware, you can't even pursue your goals. So let's take this seriously and not just also set goals, but set smart goals. You know that you don't even have savings of thousands cities. Please don't set goals that you're going to buy a private jet for 2026. Let's set realistic and achievable goals. There is a space for faith, but let's set realistic goals. So thank you once again, Miss Emmaline.
Juliet, I think somebody's asking if they can ask questions. So when do you want to go into Q&A?
Okay, so there's a portion for Q&A, but I think we can also take some Q&As right after you so that the questions are fresh. So if you have any questions, I think you guys can go ahead to ask. Hi, if you have any questions, kindly raise your hand, and then Joyce will moderate that.
Okay. Any questions? Let me just check quickly to see if there are raised hands. Questions?
Please, I have a question, but I'm not able to raise my hand from the Zoom.
Okay, that's fine. You can just ask since you are unmuted now.
Yes, please. My question is, right now, I'm at a point in my life where I think 10 years ago, I was aware of myself. I set goals to achieve, and have been able to accomplish almost all the goals I set last 10 years. And now I'm at a point in my life that I'm confused on what to do next after achieving my target. And I'm asking that in this case, what should I do? Because now my mind is money, 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 money. I want to make more and do more for myself, and I don't know how to go about it. So I want to ask for guidance on what to do. Thank you.
Okay, Francis, that's a very, very, very real and deep question you just asked. And your situation will be handled via some series of coaching. Your answer will not be given to you here because when you get to a point where you've actualized what you wanted to do, but there is still some sort of the desire, eagerness to grow more or to convert what you've achieved into money, then you would need some series of coaching. But what I'll tell you is this. Where you are, usually, the body has an alarm, okay? It's like when your body is sick, your organs begin to misbehave. So you feel pain, you feel headache and whatever. The same thing with destiny. When you are not where you're supposed to be, you have this unrest. Is that how you feel, Francis? An unrest?
I don't know how to explain, but I feel like the goal have been achieved. Right now, the next step is how to all the skills I've gathered, how to make more money with it, and like build
Yes.
something for myself.
So that is it. So that is the unrest because you're not calm about, you're not comfortable where you are. You want more. Okay, you want more. What do you do currently?
Currently, I work with an NGO, World Vision, as a
Right.
general accountant.
At a what?
General ledger accountant.
Oh, you're an accountant. And the salary
Yes,
you earn is not enough?
It's not bad, but
Why are you laughing?
I think
I know why I'm asking you this question. That's why I told you we're going to do a coaching session, a private one, if you are interested. Because
yes, I'm very interested.
we have to unpack a lot of things to get to where you need to make a decision, the right decision. Okay. I'm only asking this is just a preliminary engagement because you asked the question, but you need coaching to help unpack this question. There's a lot I will need to know before I can give you an answer. Okay. So
Sure.
if your salary is enough, but still something inside is pushing, then you need somebody to help you unpack. So get my details from what's her name? Juliet, and then let's schedule a coaching session. And then we take it from there. All right.
All right, please.
Okay.
I'll be glad.
And thank you very
Awesome.
much. I also have a question.
Okay. Honorable Salamati,
Good evening,
you can ask
everyone.
your question, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much. I think I'm really grateful and then inspired joining this session, and may God bless you. Lady Juliet knows my
Amen.
story, a survival of marital abuse, and a very good organizing groups for almost everybody, every politician who happens to be in my area. I can organize, talk to people to listen. In fact, I have following. As a teacher,
Great.
I have financial issues. Just a mere teacher with kids, and I could see that anywhere I go and I talk, people really love my speech. But as to how to make money from the speech I've been doing for people, I really love what you said. Like people are making money from me. I'm making the money into people's pocket because you'll be here, NGOs will come. Oh, Honorable, we want you to help us organize the community. They will do blah, 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 and then off they go. I have my NGO that I'm trying to champion women leadership. But I have the setbacks because financially I'm broke. I don't have anything. And naturally, I'm not the skill type who can use the hand to do certain things. And I have seen that mine is talking. And in fact, I want to know, moving forward, at my age, at age 44 with 4 kids, I think I was thinking, okay, let me manage like that. So this evening, listening to you, I realized that even at my age, I can still move to where I really want to.
Yes, that is true. And I thank you so much for sharing such a vulnerable story of yours. I actually co-manage a platform of mothers with similar stories and the likes, just to help them identify who they are and find their path. And by God's grace, there was one lady, she's one of my success stories. She lives in Tamale. She's a divorced mom of 4 children. She approached me asking me for money for rent. And I remember that time I had, because I'm into philanthropy, as I exhausted my means and I didn't have to help her. What did I do? I asked her, what does she do? She actually drop ship. So she will help if you are in Accra or outside Tamale. She will sell. She can go to the market and order shea butter, goat, ugu, chicken, tomatoes, onion, do group purchase. She has stopped asking for money. She's even contributing. Now she's contributing to support other moms. Yeah, I remember we had a Christmas break. We had to send her money to buy food for Christmas. She was surprised, and today she's the one. She's selling her products, and I have other stories like her. So we even have a platform, marketplace for them, where they promote their businesses and they are doing business. Okay, so your story is one of those that I love to hear, because when you are ready for the next level, my sister, and I think me and you will need to talk. Let me get to understand your aspect of politics, and then understand how we can position you to commercialize, because being in politics is a very, very good opportunity for you. So we are going to Regina said I should add to the stories, of course. So you and I will have a talk and find out and make a roadmap for you. And then I'll add it to the platform as well, and then see that. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful. May Allah bless you.
Amen. And bless you too. Okay.
All right. Thank you for the question so far. I can see we have other questions in the chat as well. However, for the purpose of time, because as we are becoming, we also as well. We have a Q&A period at the end of the session. So I would want the session to proceed, and then we can properly have a Q&A once we get there. So for our next session, we are going to have Lady Juliet, who will take us through how to actually map out your vision board, and it's going to be very practical. So, Lady Juliet, if you are ready for us, please let's have you on now.
Hi once again. Ooh, I'm really loving this session already. Very interactive, but as Joyce said, we need to move on, else we are going to sleep here tonight. Thank you once again, Miss Emmaline. So I can see our social media handles are shared on the in the comments. So kindly follow us on all social media, and most importantly, join our WhatsApp community, because if you have questions we are not able to address it here, we can create the answers and get back to you. If you need to book a one-on-one, we can connect you to Miss Emmaline. So feel free to follow join our WhatsApp community, and also the questions you can just put it in the comment section or send it to Joyce, and after everything we'll have a special time for Q&A. Okay, so we are moving to the live vision board session. Are you excited for this? If you're excited, let me see. Let me see the reactions. I'm not seeing anyone react. Are we excited to create our vision board? Okay. So we just concluded our goal setting and self-awareness session, and Miss Emmeline mentioned SWOT, SMART goals, and then SWOT. And I believe that most of us already know what SWOT is, which is your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So before we move on to create the vision board, I just have like a little 3 minutes assignment for all of us. Just 3 minutes. If you joined with your notepad and pen, if you've opened a live Google Doc, a Microsoft Word, or even your phone notes, you can just write it anywhere. I want you to create a SWOT analysis of yourself. So you write down strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then under these, analyze yourself and then list them. What do you think your strengths are? If you leave me to be on this Zoom from morning till evening, I can talk. That is my strength. What is my weakness? Being a talkative can also be a weakness. There are other things that that I notice in myself that I can say this is also a weakness. Some of you can be you are shy. When you are called up in public, you are very shy. There's some of us we are always late. There's some of us we are always procrastinating. Some of us is how we handle our finances. We realize that we are receiving a lot, but we are not able to retain it because we are always spending on the spot. That is also your weakness, and it's good to know your weaknesses so that you can turn them into your strength. If you are aware of it, you can always manage it. And also your opportunities. So where do you currently find yourself? If you're a student, what are some of the opportunities that are available to you? If you work, whichever sector that you work, what are some of the opportunities that are available to you or you can take advantage of? And then also the threats. What are some of the things that threatens these opportunities or that's going to threaten your self-development? Or what are some of the things that are barriers? So it could be that you have the strength, you have the weaknesses, you have opportunities ahead of you, but maybe I'm 9 months pregnant, I'm due. So I know that within the next 3 to 6 months, I'm going to be breastfeeding. I'm going to be busy, so that if my goal is to receive a promotion at work, I know that is going to be a hindrance because I'll be home on maternity leave. For some of us, it could be different things. These are just examples. So I'll need us to spend the next 3 minutes. It's 8 2 p.m. So by 8:05, we should have these listed. Don't think far. Just around you, within you, list these things: your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and then your threats. Hello, are we on it?
Yes,
Okay. So we have 1 minute to go. How many of us have been able to list something? It could be anything, you don't have to think so far or try to, get anything far-fetched. You know yourself, you know your strength. There are certain things that sometimes you yourself, you don't really accept that this is my strength, but people can tell you. There are some of you that maybe you're in a different career, but somebody can tell you that, oh, you should be on TV, you speak so well. I think most of us can relate to that. So just list those, this is your strength, this is your weakness, you attest to it. Okay, so you said you're a bit stuck at opportunities and threats. So the opportunities and threats, it's really, it's very tricky. I think we should really have some time. So, Miss Emmaline, we really need some time to go in depth into this as well. So we are shooting our shots and then we are hoping that we can have some time to do that. So the opportunities, you don't have to think fast. So maybe it's what do you currently do? Are you a student? So like Joyce, our moderator, is currently a student. What are some of the opportunities that are available to Joyce? Like fellowship opportunities, training opportunities. Joyce was part of our tech and entrepreneurship bootcamp which I run at Seat of Fortune, which I'm the country lead for. And those are some of the opportunities available for her. Joyce is very active on LinkedIn, building her personal brand. So that is, an opportunity that is available to her. And she's taking advantage of that. So you're a teacher and an abacus instructor. What are some of the opportunities available for you to expand as a teacher or even as an abacus instructor? What are some of the opportunities available for you to elevate? Is it by taking up, as an abacus instructor? Is there anyone above an abacus instructor that you want to be? Is it by just setting up your own abacus, club? What are some of the things that you think in your capacity you can do? And it's not all of these opportunities that should be financially rewarding. There are some of the things that as Miss Emmaline started, she says something that she charges a lot. If you really want to get like one-on-one with her, it's you need to pay. But she weighed this off. She's not taking us anything, and she's here today because of the passion she has for young people. So sometimes some of these opportunities that you're going to list is just out of passion or the fact that you want to develop yourself. It shouldn't be, financially rewarding. So I think by now we should be able to list that. Yeah, and then the threats. So as an abacus instructor and then a teacher, it can be what is it that restricts you from achieving your goals? So maybe you know that there's an opportunity for you to travel, but then as a teacher, GS doesn't allow you to take that opportunity on. That can be a threat to your opportunity or your growth. So you don't really have to think so far. Okay, so Regina is done. Any other person who is done, please let's be interactive. So any other person who is done? Regina said I'm done. Any other person who is done?
I'm done too.
Okay. Do we need more time or can we proceed?
Please, I'm lost. Please, what are we doing now? My network got distracted, so I had to leave for a couple of minutes, please.
Okay, that's fine. We are doing a SWOT analysis. We are listening down a SWOT analysis. So you would just have a sheet of paper, a note, anything that you find within your space to jot down your strength, your weakness, the opportunities available to you, and then the threats to those opportunities. You're just listing that down. We just concluded our goal setting and self-awareness. So now I believe we are aware of ourselves. So we're able to tell what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, the opportunities available to us in our various spaces, and what are some of those threats, the threats to the various opportunities. Thank you. So Vera has shared that in the group. Okay, so we're going to move on to the vision board creation. This should take us about 5 to 10 minutes, not so much time since we've been able to complete our SWOT analysis. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me just share the entire screen. Okay. So I'm sharing my entire screen. Okay, hold on. What's going on? Sorry guys, I'm trying to share the template and it's really not coming out well. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Lady Juliet, we
Okay.
can see it.
So I think
Currently, we are looking at
okay.
a Google
So can you
Doc.
see the
Okay.
LJ's vision?
Yes. No. Okay, yes, now.
Okay, good. So there's a template I wanted to share with you guys. We're going to make an editable template which we'll share on our WhatsApp community. So most of the time when we are creating a vision board, most people, most times I just thought to list down the vision, like what do you want to do for 2026, and then we just list it. But mostly it's important to really section our vision. And the reason I asked us to to do the source analysis is that, as Mr. Malin said, if you are self-aware, you're able to achieve any goal that you set for yourself. Because if I set any goal and say that I want to have like 10 speaking engagements, and I know that I'm a very shy person, and one of my weaknesses is public speaking, I would be able to be realistic and say, oh, speaking is not my strength. So instead of listing 10, I could say three, and then also try to take advantage of some little opportunities that come my way. So if I'm listing my opportunities, I would be able to say, okay, so at work, when they ask someone to give the opening remarks or closing prayer, anything that in an intimate environment that I'm familiar with them, I can use to openly speak so that I can, gradually, work on my shyness. I'll take that advantage. So when you're aware of that, it really helps you to set realistic and achievable goals. So um if we are to use this template, we are going to share a template that is editable with you. Don't worry. So if you are to go by this template that I have, you can see that it's sectioned into education stroke professional development. For some of you who are students, you don't really have to necessarily put these two together. It could be education separately and then professional development separately because you are a student. And then also religious and spiritual growth. That is really dependent on you. If you're not a religious person, you can choose to leave it out. And also, I choose to add mental health to it because amidst all of this, you need to be able to, like take care of your mental health. And then my physical health as well, because health is wealth. And then my career and finances. So some of us can also decide to separate the career and financials, but I choose to put it together. And also I come back to personal. So when you are setting your vision board, you need to really have in mind what you have written down as your SWOT analysis, because the goal is to set smart, like, realistic and achievable goals, not just to set any goal that is really going to lie down. You know that, as I said earlier, you don't even have thousands of cities in your account, but then you wake up and say, I want to buy a private jet this year. You may have faith, but sometimes, you need to be realistic. There's a place for faith. So first of all, in all of these sections that all these sections that I've written down, or all these breakdowns, you need to know what is your priority for this year. There are certain years that I would say my priority was education. And then there are certain years too that I could say that my priority is professional development. And then there are also certain years that you as an individual can sit down and say, I really want to grow spiritually. There's nothing wrong with that. There are certain years that you can also say, I think I don't have time for myself. My physical or mental health is deteriorating, or the status of my health. So I want to pay attention to what I eat, what I do. That is also fine. You can also say, this year, I really want to get more money, or I really want to grow in my career. We all heard what Francis was sharing. He said his focus right now is on money, money, money. Although he has a job, but he's still trying to get other opportunities because his focus right now is money, money, money. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is what at this point in his life he feels it is, important for him. So when you are setting the goals, you need to make sure that you prioritize whatever area or aspect of your life that you want to throw more focus on. And it shouldn't be like, maybe this year I'm focusing on my career, so it's only career. It can be like multiple sectors, but then you can't also say that I'm trying to do all by myself, because you're just one person. So you definitely, pay more attention to one area than the other. So now, still going back to our notes, Google Doc, our phone notes, physical notepad. Please let's list down the various sections that we want to pay attention to. So if you want to create something, you want to focus on your education or your personal development, your religious growth, your mental health, your physical health, your personal achievements, or your career and financial goals. Let's list it down. Let's create these sections so that we can start working on them. Because this is supposed to be a live thing. If for most of us, if we leave us and we say, oh, we are teaching you, but when you go back, you do it. You and I know that we are not going to do it. Me, I'm part of those people. I will sleep on it, and then it will take Oh, okay. So Joyce, so what if you want to do a little bit? It is totally fine. It really depends on where you are in your career, where you are in your life, or what you are doing, and then the commitment level. So if you think that you'll be able to commit to a bit of everything, that is fine. But at the end of the day, you need to also have ways that you can measure the success of it, or how the success and the impact of it can be felt personally in your life, because it's your life and you know what you want to see. So it doesn't matter if you're doing a little bit of everything. So please, if you have your notepad, you have your notes, you are ready to start creating your vision board, give me a thumbs up. Okay, I'm getting a few thumbs up. Okay. It seems it's only the ladies that are giving the thumbs up. For the men, are you not ready to create your vision board? Okay, at least we have 1 month the rescue. Okay, yeah. I can see that the men are also participating now. Okay. All right, so let's go back to hold on. Oh, my thing is no longer sharing. Okay. Okay, so now I want us to begin listing. We are going to follow the order that I have, just because I don't want us to be all over the place and be able to follow the lead. So for me, I decided to put the education and professional development together. So I can't really share what I put there, what I'm going to put there, but I can decide to say, oh, okay, what I can share right now is that I really want to do my master's. So I will list it there, pursue a master's degree. Last year, I think was it last year or last 2 years, I remember I had like a program that is my postgraduate diploma in international gender studies, which I listed that this is what I want to do this, because I have sent my application. So you can list it, I want to do my master's. Maybe you already have a master's. There's a particular short course that you're eyeing. There are some of you, maybe you need a professional course, like you need to get the PMP certification, you need to get your chartered accountancy, you need to get your chartered marketing, you need to get your chartered, HR thing. All of these are things that, although it's education wise, you're getting the certificates, but it's also going to lift you up professionally. And the reason I made us do the SWOT analysis is that when you see the weaknesses is able to help you to see the gap and even the opportunities available, because when you tell it is able to tell you the gap. So let's say in my in my weaknesses, I'm saying that I'm not getting certain opportunities because maybe I'm an HR executive and I don't have the HR professional certification. And then what are the opportunities around me is maybe to get promotion to be a senior HR. So in that case, you ask yourself that in terms of education and profession and professional development, what can I do to close this gap or achieve this opportunity? Then you can say attain the HR certification, do this, take this course. Some of you maybe are out of school for now, but you want to go back to school. You can list it. You want to learn a trade, or you're already in school, you want to learn a skill. You want to learn some AI skills. You've seen people are always talking about AI. You want to learn some particular AI skill. And we need to be specific. That's why they are SMART goals. You need to be specific. So it has to come with, so SMART, it has to be specific. I want to learn maybe AI prompt engineering. I want to learn AI video editing. Sometimes, if you make it very open, you don't know where to start from. So, whatever that you think you want to do, you need to also read more and research into it so that you can set specific goals. And then it needs to also be measurable. So, in the course of this year, when do you intend to do that? We're already in March. So, I want to get it done by June because that would be the yardstick. That's going to be what is going to guide you. You said you're going to do it by June. So if by May you've not done it, there is that pressure on you. So I want to do it by June. I want to do it by the end of this year. I want to do it maybe in the next 2 years. Be like, it should be measurable, something that you can always say, I'm doing it by this time. Or let's say I want to increase my public last year I did 10 public speaking engagement. This year I want to increase it by 20 by the end of the year. It should be something that you can measure it. So because if I write I want to do public speaking engagement and then I do only one public speaking engagement, I have done it. But if I say I want to do 20 and I do 10, I'm able to say that, oh, okay, I've been able to achieve 50% of my goals. So it's very, necessary to make sure that it's specific, it is measurable, and then the A, which is attainable or achievable. And I really love the fact that Miss Emmaline stressed on this so much. You need to make sure that this is like achievable or attainable. You know your current situation. As I made some example, if I'm pregnant and I'm due, there are certain things that I really cannot say that I want to do because there's like a health limitation. My biology in itself doesn't permit me to do it. So we need to be realistic with ourselves, and that goes to the R. It has to be realistic. It has to be very realistic. You can't say that you want to start your master's or you want to go outside the country to do your master's in this, I guess, or September, and then we are in March. You've not sent any application. You don't even know the country you want to do it. You don't even know the course that you want to pursue. You don't even have any statement of purpose. You don't even have a CV to begin with. You need to be realistic with yourself and say, okay, now I've identified I want to do this, but let me structure myself and prepare stronger next year. So it has to be very realistic. And then, as I mentioned, it has to be time bound. It should be time bound because if it's not time bound, you can just put it down. Then in November, you begin to pick it up and say, hey, this is my vision board. Let me see what I can take off. Let me see the changes I can make. But if it's time bound, at every point in time, you know what to do. And sometimes, let's say, based on what you do, there's a way that you can also layer it. So sometimes what I do is that like I try to also apportion some of the things to what I can do every quarter. So let's say like for the first quarter of the year, I can say for the first quarter, I mostly like to take it very slowly, like see how the year is going, plan for the year, try to see what's working, what's not working for me. Just keep working on my vision board, editing, taking things out, sending out applications and all of that. You can try to section it into like various quarters or months. You can portion it. And then you can also say maybe in this month, I can say for the first half, I'm going to better myself so that in the second half, I can use that to apply for opportunities and get money from it. So it just depends on how you want to section it. If you're a student, from like January to April, you are in school. But then from May to July, you are free, you're on vacation, then you should be able to use that to section it and say, from January to March, if you want to increase your GPA, that's the best timeline to give it. And then from the time that you're home to, if you want to do an internship, if you want to be more visible on social media, that's also the best time to plan it because you are home. So you need to like know some of these things and then use it to list it. So in terms of education or professional development, and then we can also move to religious or spiritual growth. So for some of us, if whether you're a Muslim or you're a Christian, for a Christian, you can say that you want to improve on your Bible reading, you want to read Bible all the time, you want to like be consistent in joining maybe prayers or praying, whatever that you want to do, you want to like right? Your self-reflection, you want to grow intimate with God. As a Muslim, maybe every Ramadan you are following through, you don't really do it. You can say this year we are still in the season. I want to make sure that I complete, so I want to make sure that I do at least 20 before the month end. So even like after the season is over and then you know you are owing, you can say that as for this, I will not wait till next Ramadan or when next Ramadan is getting close to do what I'm owing. I'm going to give myself like the next 2 to 3 months to really do the fast that I'm owing from this one. So it's really depends on what you want to do. One of the things I remember when I was doing my last vision board, one of the things that I put in for my religious and spiritual growth was I added like my various prayer meeting links to like Zoom links to my Google Calendar, because most of the time like I'm doing more things virtually. I have meetings back here and then back there, and then I forget that I have this meeting at this time. So when I add it to my Google and maybe I'm trying to book a meeting with someone in my calendar, it shows that this time is blocked. And that's because like I have a prayer meeting or something. So it is there as a priority. And then once it's on my calendar, I'm able to join at any time. There's nothing like, oh, I forgot the service, unless until like I'm really in a situation where I can't join. And that also helped me. So depending on your goal, you know what to write. And then also on your physical health. Personally, if you know me personally, I don't sleep. You see me, you wake up from at 2 a.m., you see me up, 3 a.m., you see me up, 5 a.m., you see me up, 7 a.m., then you see me up with all of you again. So one of the things that I prioritized was to be intentional about my sleep. If there are certain vitamins that I need to take to help me, sleep well, if there are certain like, prioritize exercising and all of that. If you have to do monthly massages, my ladies, if you need to go to the spa to get your facials, all of those things that you think is going to improve your physical health, you can list it there. And then these are things that you should be conscious about. Please don't go and put out going for monthly checkups, or I'll be doing this and that, I'll be buying this supplements, and you know that it's going to also put financial stress on There should be things that you can easily do, like take 5 minutes walk every evening, take 10 minutes walk every evening. Once you put it down, you can be intentional about maybe you get down at the junction before your junction and intentionally walk. You've achieved your goal of 10 minutes walk every evening. So physical health, in terms of physical health, what do you want to achieve? And then in terms of mental health, and I feel like most people do vision boards without this, but trust me, mental health is like at the center. It's in the middle of all of these things. If you're not in a good mental space, you wouldn't even want to go to church. You wouldn't want to enter the mosque to pray. If you're not in a good mental health, you would be in school, your grades will be failing. You wouldn't even be able to pursue your professional goals. If your mental health is, deteriorating, it has an effect on your physical health as well. And sometimes it's anything can lead to a mental health breakdown, or sometimes not necessarily a breakdown, but then most of us, there are different things that shows up and we are not even able to tell that this is my mental health breaking out. We are now in the social media era, and as I emphasized earlier on LinkedIn, maybe you go on LinkedIn, you set your goals, you go on LinkedIn, you see people posting their achievements, you see them achieving the things that like they said they are doing for the year and all of that. And then it comes to you don't see yourself doing anything, and you begin to compare yourself, you begin to do all, which can really affect you as a human. So you need to find ways and means to overcome that. Even apart from social media, even social media can affect your mental health in the sense that some of you just seeking social media validation. So instead of putting the real work, it's more of like, I want to seek social media validation, or I want people to see that I'm also there. And then it's so when that kind of validation is not coming, it begins to have like a toll on you. It could be like, you can choose to say, I'll be journaling, I'll find somebody to talk to, just anything that you think works for you. You find you put yourself in like a very solitary state to calm your nerves down. What works for you, what works for me may not work for me. So that's why we did the self-awareness before this. So you know yourself, you know that when you are very overwhelmed, there's something that calms you down. Maybe it's music, it's a particular type of song, it's by speaking to your mother, I think personally for me, no matter how overwhelmed I am, I think when I speak to my mom, everything just goes back to normal. So you should know what really works for you. And then also personal. I think the personal can be very confusing, but I put the personal there because there are some of us in my shoes where, let's say you have a job or you are building a career, you also have like educational goals and all of that. And then you also have like personal aspirations or passion that you want to pursue. Like there's Joya. I had been wanting to do this for years. I had Joya, like I had Joya from 2018, way back from the university when I was a student leader. Then I never really pursued it. Like I just started and kind of put it on hold, working for other people. And I'll always say, I need to build this, I need to build that. But it takes very intentional effort, especially, let's say this is a non-profit, and then I've been working for other non-profits. So it's just like you are building others, and then you don't really know when to stop or when to actually invest in yours. So when you set these personal goals and said, personally, I want to be able to maybe scale up my keep in school project. Personally, I want to be able to like publish a newsletter. I want to be able to do this outside of my career, outside of my job. So Francis was saying that he's like a ledger, whatever at World Vision. Maybe personally, outside of that, I want to volunteer on this. I want to do that. So being able to also not create, because we say we want to be ambitious, we want to, do the vision, but everything shouldn't just be about your, professional or your work. Sometimes you need to also pursue something. So what makes you happy? Maybe crocheting is a skill that you've learned, that it can be anything. So you want to pursue it. You have like a small business that you are running. Personally, where do you want that small business to grow to? Even beyond your 9 to 5 job, even beyond that remote job that you have, you need to have it there as well. And then lastly, your career and financial. Sometimes that can be very, very, very tricky because you can't determine, you can say that career-wise, I want to find a new job this year. I want to get a promotion this year, or I want my salary to increase to this amount. But sometimes you can't really determine that, in the sense that I can say I want to be promoted this year, but the decision for me to be promoted is not in my hands. I can apply for it and not get it. I can apply for a new job and not get it. But what makes the difference is that if I work in that consciousness that this is what I want to achieve career-wise, so mostly the career and financial really goes with education and professional development. Because if career-wise, I say that I want to be promoted, then if I want to attain any educational goals, I should be mindful of that to see that this particular course I'm taking, how is it going to help me to achieve this career goal that I have? How is this going to help me to even to achieve this financial goal? So let's say I want to take a course which is costing me like 10,000 cedis. If I get money in my hands, that would also determine how I'm going to portion that money to say, every month, let me save this amount of money so that by this time I can use it to take that course. So it goes hand in hand. But and there are certain aspects of these that you don't really have control of it, like your physical health. You can do the exercise, you can take all the vitamins, and anything could happen. But at least when you work in that consciousness that I am exercising, I'm doing this, I'm journaling, even when it comes, there is a way that is easier to manage, or there is this clarity and peace that comes with it. Like, that I apply for these number of jobs, I did this. And if you're a believer, like you're a religious person, you are praying, because you have this, or there is that clarity, you are able to pray specifically, and then channel your faith correctly. So I believe that by this we've been able to jot something down. Let's take the next 3 minutes to polish up what we are writing. Okay, so can we see this new template that I've shared as well? That has my vision board. Can we see that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. So you can see that it really depends on you, as I said. Just do what really works for you. Like what I have, that is quite, very simple. It says my vision board. So you have the physical, mental, spiritual, financial, you can add whatever, and then it gives you that things to try. So you want to like I want to try how to skip like 1,000 a day. You want to try how to sing. You want to try how to dance. Maybe there's a particular cultural activity that you want to try. You put it there. And then also it gives you the chance to put like goal this month. So what you can even do is that what is my goal for this year? You can put it there and then as I said, you can section it. If you think putting it monthly can be exhausting, you can decide to put it like, quarterly. So it really depends on how you want your template to be. But what really matters is the content and how you've been able to, like section it very well and how clear it is in terms of timing and whatever that comes with it. So I believe that things are clear now. I will share this last thing and end my session. Oh no, sorry. Okay, so I think I wanted to share the plan of action that Ben would be tackling that. So I'll just like no, it's not really okay. So okay, so just to touch a bit of this so that it's easier for us, I'm not going to share I hope you're not seeing the content, but you can see that after creating my vision board, what I mostly do to make it very, realistic for me and then also very easy for me, like a strategy so that I can follow that to achieve it, is that I have my plan of action where I'm able to list the areas. So the areas is just what we stated: education, spiritual and religious, financials, and then I have the goal. So for every area, I set a goal towards it. So for education, I want to pursue my master's. It is there. For religious, I want to pray more. I want to read my Bible more. It is there. Sorry, I'm trying to, I'm trying to personally see. Okay. Yeah. So you can see, okay, I think it doesn't matter. So let me just share because this was way back in 2023. So it's okay. So you see, education and professional development. I wrote to improve my skill and knowledge significantly. I wasn't specific. And sometimes when you see somebody's vision board, that should also help you to be able to like see the gaps. Because like nobody's the standard, see the gaps in it. So you can see that it was very like vague, like very broad to improve my skill and knowledge set significantly. To improve my skill and knowledge set in what exactly, in which area? That is very like, because it could be in gender, in youth advocacy, in project management, in operations, it could be in non-profit management, in any area at all. And then also for my religious and um religion and spirituality, I want to get closer to God and serve Him with my talent. So at least that is like, a bit clearer. I want to serve God with my talent. So that means that when I go to church and there's an opportunity for me to, use my skills to serve, I'm able to take it up. And also for physical and mental health, I want to create a healthy lifestyle and improve on my physical well-being. And then also mental health, to be in a safe place mentally and emotionally. And then career and finance, I want to advance my career, step into other ventures, I can excel and become more financially independent to assist my mom. Okay, so it depends on you. Like you can have the goal maybe for yourself to assist anyone. That is also fine. And then for the personal too, I said I to live a purposeful life, which is also again very vague. Live a purposeful life in what sense of it? Like what do you want to do by living a purposeful life? What do you mean by purposeful life? So you need to, apply the smarts there. And then also my strength and competence. I wrote public speaking, writing, multitasking, self-starter, project coordination, event organized, resilience. And then my weakness. So sometimes there are certain things that you may even think is a strength, but when you really narrow it down, and if you say weakness, doesn't mean it has to necessarily be a bad thing. So you see, weakness, I said, doing so many things at a time and impatience. I'm very impatient, trust me. Like I used to be impatient. Like when I send application, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from them the next minute. And then bad sleep pattern, as I mentioned earlier. And then there's no light in network and leaves relationship unattended to. So now if I'm investing more into my relationship with other people, it's because I came to that awareness that I don't really like to invest in my relationship. And I don't like to network. So what can I do about it? Is it by just randomly calling people to check up on them? Is it by just consciously trying to get in touch with people? So if you have this awareness, you're able to go, to know what to do. And then you can see that with each of the areas, I wrote action steps. So you can see that then I said, I'm going to take a postgraduate diploma in M&E at GIMPA, which I stated that I've already applied. And then I also stated I'm going to take ALS free software engineering because that was after my, sorry, that was after the virtual assistant course. I got into it. The pressure was too much. I dropped out. And then I said, I'm going to start my French course, which I started. I said, I'm going to do English test aid, my master's application. I'm going to apply for Progress program by what? And I applied. And last year, I was in Iceland for the Progress Fellowship. So you see it happen, but it just didn't happen in vain. So you can see education and professional development. These are the action steps. So it's guiding me when I say in the application, even I did certain applications and certain things that were not really specifically these things that I have listed. But because I had stated that I want to improve my skill set and knowledge, if I see anything that is in my interest or in my field of work, I'm able to take it. And then I said, write a monthly Christian theme blog for my WordPress. I didn't do it. Pray more, seek directions. I didn't do it. I did some of it. I didn't do some of it. And then my physical, I said I'll stop eating it and reduce fatty foods, work on my sleep pattern. As I mentioned again, take supplements and multivitamins, sign up for a gym, which I started and stopped. For my mental health, practice journaling, meditation, identify my emotional triggers and how to overcome it, and all of these things. And also, I had to combine some of them because there are some of them too that is very related, like your career and finances, and then personal. Because if you have the money, it's easier for you to do some of the things. So you can see that as at 2020, I wrote registered Joya Foundation. You can see it started a YouTube channel. So there's some like it's very easier if you are able to section it down in that area. And then I had like a daily planner too, which wasn't really effective for me because I'm not really like a daily routine person. So if you are doing like a 9 to 5, sometimes it's easier. But for those of us who work remotely with different shifting schedules, it's really difficult to sometimes use the daily planner, but it's still helpful. It's still helpful. Although you may you may not use it every day, but you could even use it as a weekly planner thing where you say, oh, this week I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm grateful for this. This is my note. And then maybe for the following week or for tomorrow, you want to do that. So I believe that by now we all have been able to to create our vision boards. Even if you've not been able to complete it entirely, I believe that we've been able to jot many things down that'll be able to help us to complete it and also to section it. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much. And I think Ben will take over shortly for the action planning.
Thank you so much, Lady Juliet. Um, that was quite a lot, especially I believe if you're someone who is just new to vision boarding and then you haven't tried it out and this is your first time. So as promised, we will be getting the templates to all of this thing. And once you join the WhatsApp platform, communication is easier, and then we can also follow along with all your questions and then make sure we answer you appropriately. Now, our time is fast spent. Our next facilitator is here. So without much ado, I want to kindly call on Mr. Benjamin Opoku to take us through the next session, and then we'll have Q&As. Thank you. Hi, Mr. Benjamin. Please, can you hear me? Oh, great. He can. Right.
Hi,
So please
everyone.
introduce yourself and you can begin your session with us this evening.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you so much also for putting together this wonderful presentation or this wonderful webinar for young people to learn. So let me try sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Just a second, let me. No, I'm not sure I'm sharing the correct. Okay, so Juliet, I've shared my presentation with you. If you can project it, I think I'm having a bit of a challenge from here. If someone can please share my
Okay,
presentation.
I'm trying to open it, so I'll share it. Okay,
Great.
okay, trying to open. Okay, so I think, hold on, let me share my screen.
So, good evening once again. I don't
Can you
intend
see it?
to.
Okay, I think, sorry,
Yeah.
it's not working. Stop sharing. I think I have to open it in Google Slide.
Okay, so I don't intend to take much of your time, especially as the previous speakers have done justice to the topic or the subjects for discussion this evening. And so basically, what I'll be doing is to put into context all the things that you have heard, all the are you able to share now?
Hi Ben. I think you can proceed. I'm trying to open it in Google Slide, but my internet
Okay,
is a bit slow.
great. So let me proceed. Right. And so um I'll try and put into context all the things that you have heard from the first speaker, Miss Emma, from the second speaker, Lady Juliet, how you can practicalize these things that you have heard, right? From thinking about the vision, creating the vision, dreaming and all of that. Dreams are good. It's good to dream, but the most important thing is how do you get to that dream, right? How do you get to that dream? And it takes steps. It takes a couple of steps to be able to get to that dream. So in this presentation, I would help you to answer just one question. Just one, not two, only one question. And this question is, what will I actually start doing tomorrow? Right? After hearing all the presentations, the clarity you need, how you can write down your goals, your vision on the vision board and all of that. What will you do? What will you start doing tomorrow? That is the question that in this presentation I want to help you answer. And I'm hoping that at the end of this presentation, you'll be able to find some clarity on how you can proceed on whatever plans, whatever goals or vision that you have in your mind or on paper, right? So first, one would ask, what at all is action planning? What at all is action planning? Of course, action planning is planning to act. Is that not so? Action planning is taking action. Action planning is doing the do, right? Action planning is doing what you said you want to do. It is taking steps, right? And so basically, generally, action planning is moving from that vision stage, moving from that idea stage to a point where you've created a step-by-step approach to achieve the goal or the vision that you set for yourself. That is action planning. And so having that broad vision, having that broad, sometimes, scary goals for your year or for the month and all of that, how do you break that vision down step by step? And how do you get to it? Whether within a year, whether within 2 months, within 3 months, or 5 years, how will you get to it? Right. And so I say that a vision board is powerful, right? Creating a vision board is very powerful because, of course, you need to bring your ideas onto a board or onto a platform, if you like your notepad, if you like your vision board, if you like your paper, your exercise book, your notepad, your diary, or whatever you have, right? You need to, are you able to share now, Juliet?
So I thought I was sharing the screen. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Right.
Is it
So
clear
you
now? Can
can,
you see the screen?
yes, I
Yes.
can see. I believe everyone can see as well. So you can just move to the next slide. Yes, you can move to the next slide.
What's happening? Is this the next, or should I move to the next one?
No, no. Please drop this. I shared a different presentation. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, this is not it. Well,
Okay.
so I'll continue anyways, right? Just
Okay.
let me continue anyways so that we can make good use of the time that we have here. So, like I was saying, a vision board matters a lot. A vision board is powerful, but a vision without a system is just decoration. A vision without a system is just decoration. It is fancy to have a vision board. It is powerful to have a vision board. It is so nice when Lady Juliet presents her vision board and you feel like, this lady is doing so well. I wish I can also do just like her, how she's created the vision board and how she's explaining what she did, what she was able to do, what she couldn't do, and all of that. It's so nice, right? You wish you'd have it. But if you have that vision board and you do not have a system that would help you to achieve or to implement whatever target you have set on your vision board, it becomes just a decoration in your room, a decoration on your phone, a decoration in your diary, in your notepad, or wherever you have your vision board planted, right? And so let me ask a question. You and I would agree, or tell me if you don't agree, that most people actually know what they want. And very few people know how to move from wanting to doing.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Please, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
am I on
thank
the
you.
right slide?
Please.
Yes.
Yes,
So we
yeah.
can move. Yes, move to the next slide. Great. Great. Thank you so much. Yes, so most people know what they want, but very few people know how to move from the wanting stage to the doing stage. Most people, or very few people are able to move from I want to I do, right? Because it is easier to want, it is easier to desire, it is easier to envision, it is easier to think about the things that you want to do, right? It is easier to dream. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, just in the chat box, just say yes. If you don't agree, you can feel free, say no as well, right? We are doing this together. So just put it in the chat box. If you agree with me, just type yes. If you don't agree, type no. Right. So again, let me ask this critical question. From all that you have heard, let me ask this question. How many of you have had a goal that you never acted on? On the next slide. How many of you have had that beautiful, sometimes very scary goal, very scary dream? And you know the saying that if your dream or your vision doesn't scare you, then really it is some cocoa thing, some small vision that you have. Your vision should be scary. It should be that vision that when you see yourself, you get frightened. Hey, how am I going to do this? How many of you, even just from the start of this year, January, the resolutions that you made on 1st January 2026 or before 2025 ended, the resolutions that you made, how many of you have been able to take steps towards achieving even one of those resolutions? How many of you have reached the point where you desire to reach at this point of the year? Because you see, once the year is getting to the end, everyone is like, the year is ending. I need to create new resolutions, my New Year resolutions, long list. I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do blah, I'll do blah, I'll do blah, I'll do blah, and all of that. It's so nice and fancy to have. But how many of you have acted on those goals that you set for yourself? If you have, type 1 in the chat box. I only want those who have taken action to get closer to their goals in this year. Just type 1 in the chat box. And so in this presentation, like I said, we do not have time. And so I'm going to give you a simple framework to create an action plan, a simple framework that you can follow, right? You can follow to build or develop an action plan that you can use. Very simple, right? Usually I do not want to, some of these things, if you make it too much complicated, it even demotivates you to even start working on it. And so I actually plan to make it very simple on the next slide, right? So this is a simple action plan framework that we are going to use, a 3-pronged action plan framework. The first is the vision, the dreams, the goals, the ideas. I want to start a business. I want to start my master's. I want to, get married, right? I want to have a baby. I want to go on a vacation. I want to network. I want to I want to get this job. The vision that you have, which has already been, explained enough by the first and second presentations, have been explained enough how to gain clarity on the vision that you have, right? How to ensure that it's measurable, right? The second step or stage is now to create the action plan for that. That means that you cannot create an action plan without a vision. You cannot create an action plan without having a goal in mind, right? because the action plan, like I explained earlier, is going to take you from stage 1 to stage 3, from step A to step B. That is what the plan will take you. And in implementing step A to step B to step C, you should be getting closer, if not hitting your vision that you set for yourself. And then 3, what are the systems that you can put in place? You need to put in place to ensure that you are doing as you planned. You are doing as you have said from your own mouth, from the horse's own mouth. I didn't say it. You said it. You wrote it down. Feel Kadochi in your face, on your vision board, on your phone, that this is what you are going to do. What systems have you put in place? We'll get to understand what these systems are and how you can use them to ensure that every single day you are getting closer to your goal. So let's start with the vision. The vision. Like I said, the vision has already been explained, right? So your vision must be clear enough. Your vision must be clear, devoid of any ambiguity, that yourself, when you read, it gives you meaning. When you read, it gives you clarity on where you are starting from and where you want to end. Now, from all that has been shared in this presentation or this workshop, I would want you to note, or I would want you to write down, what is that one goal on your vision board that matters most? And even before you do this, I just want to demystify the views that some people may have around vision board. Maybe, sometimes when you hear vision board, someone will think, oh, vision board, which word is this? Na then na big then na vision board na then, right? Vision board is just the goal that you have in mind. Right? The goal you have in mind or the goal you have written on your paper. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as you have. The vision you have in mind, write it down. What is that one goal on your vision board that matters most to you, right? And so for those of you who have created some sort of goals, have created a vision board before, or have in your notepad, your exercise book on your phone or anywhere else, some goals, you should be able to point out the most important goals at any point in time. If you have numerous goals, right, you should be able to prioritize them. You should be able to arrange them in order of importance, right? I think Miss Emma in her presentation mentioned something about picking just that one goal. Sometimes we force ourselves to, try to do so many things, and in the end, nothing gets done. Right? You cannot tell me that everything to you is important. No, that is not true. Don't deceive yourself. Everything you have on your plate, everything you want to achieve, there should be that level of importance attached to each one of your goals. The ones that you would want to achieve immediately from day one, the one that can hold on to, say, in a month's time, 2, 3, a year's time, those ones are also there. They can all be on your vision board. But what are the most important goals that you have on your board? If you have numerous, you can list them in order of importance. But then at any point in time, you should be able to isolate, you should be able to pick out the most important goal, right? And sometimes your goal can have sub goals. In some instances, we say sub objectives, right? Because usually the goal is that broad vision, right? That general broad vision that you have. And sometimes you can drill it down to sub-objectives, right? So you need that. And like I said, all the discussions from the beginning have pointed to creating or having this goal. So how then do you now create an action plan? How do you take action? For instance, on the next slide, one of your goals is to come here, right? And I want you to pay attention because in this presentation, I want to make it as practicable as possible, right? So that I'm not sharing abstract stuff, but you can apply these things to whatever you want to do or whatever goals you have. For instance, you want to become a lawyer. That is your goal. That is your goal. You want to become a lawyer. What is the action you need to take? Don't just be dreaming. Don't just be thinking about, oh, I want to become a lawyer. Oh, I want to do, what action are you taking tomorrow? Remember the first question I asked? How do you start tomorrow to become a lawyer? How do you start? What do you do? It could be several of others, but there should be that first action you want to take. So in becoming a lawyer, what is the first action? You need to research on, say, 3 law schools. And this is just hypothetical example, right? You could decide to take a different first step. You could decide to, speak to, say, 3 colleagues or 3 friends who have become lawyers or who are in law school. That could be your first action step, right? Your first action you want to take. Over here, you research 3 law schools. That is the first thing. The second step could be, after researching the law schools, you create a checklist of the requirements to get into the law schools for each one of them. What are the requirements? You create a checklist of the requirements to get into the law schools that you have researched. The next action, let's say for day 3, could be you want to put together the application documents to apply for the schools, right? You need to put together the application documents. That is also an action that you need to take. And then on and on and on, you get to where you would apply, you get to where you start, you get admission, you get to a point where you learn, then you go through the process of becoming a lawyer. You don't just dream, you take action steps. You move from A to B. The second example, you want to start a business in 2026, whether it's a product business, whether it's a service business. You want to create a business in 2026. Some of us asked earlier how you would be able to create other sources of income, right? To beef up or to complement your mainstream income or to use your extra skills that you have. How do you do it? So if you want to start a business, for instance, what is the first step you want to take? Interview 2 people already in that business. Interview 2 people. Have a discussion with 2 people already in that business. Your first step could be anything. It could be that, for you want to first do a market research on whatever area or service or product or whatever idea that you want to put onto the market. Do your own research. Someone would say, I want to even create a concept idea, right? I want to create concept notes. Some people will move straight into developing a proposal and all of that. You would want to say, I just want to speak with 2 people in the industry, two people who are doing same or similar things as you want to do. Now, in creating these action steps, you make sure they are small and immediate. Don't push so many things in the steps that you are creating, right? From the things that I have shared. Research 3 law schools, straight, direct, very small, but immediate, smart. You know that the output, what you want to see in the end, is what? That you have researched 3 law schools. You have the names of 3 law schools. You have researched, you know the requirements to be admitted into that law school. You know how long it takes to finish the degree or the certificate or the program. You know whatever it takes to become a lawyer. That is direct. Oh, I will research law schools and also do this and also do that, and also you are complicating the action step, the action point you have. Just make it simple and immediate. Now let's move to after you have created these action steps, right? Using the framework that I am sharing, the examples that I have given, right? Like I said, a lot of us, most often, would create so many, we have the dreams, we have the ideas, what to do. Some of us, we have even listed them and all of that. But what stops you from achieving them? Have you thought about it? Some people, to get to their goals become difficult because they may not have the enabling environment, as Ms. Emma shared earlier. And so you need to what? Move from that environment. Some people because of fear, some people because of the imposter syndrome. So they feel they are not enough, they are not adequate, they are not experts. Do you need to become an expert in an area before you take a step? No, you don't. So how do you put in place a system that will check you, a system that would help you to achieve or implement the actions that you have set for yourself? So for instance, if you want to create a system around the action plan that you have, and taking the business example, I want to start a business, right? Like I said, the system is that you want to spend 30 minutes, an hour, or how much time you have every day researching the industry, every day reading about the industry, reading about the markets, reading about what others are doing elsewhere. Commit 30 minutes of your time every single day. So if at the end of the day you haven't spent that 30 minutes reading, then you know something is wrong. You know you are not getting closer to your goal as planned. If you say you want to read more, you've seen some people share their books read in a year, over 30, 20, 50 books and all of that. And so you also tell yourself, oh, wow, 2026, me too, I will read some. Hey, me too, I will read some. 2026, I will also read 30 books. How many have you read so far? How many? Just tell me, how many have you read so far in the year 2026? 0. You are even yet to get the book, but you told yourself it isn't on your plan. It is on your action plan, your resolution for the year that you read at least 5 books every month. How many have you read up to date in 2026? And so it's not enough to set the action, but in creating a system for that, what you do is you tell yourself, you write it down. I will read 10 pages every morning of this book. If it is not a book, if it's maybe a journal or something, you can say, I'll read an article, a research article, at least one research article or one research report every single week. And mind you, all that I am saying, you don't necessarily have to do them every day. You can set yourself a target for daily. You can set yourself a target for weekly. You can set yourself a target for bi-weekly. You can set bi-monthly, monthly, and all of that. However convenient you want to do it. But just be honest, be truthful with yourself so that you create these systems around the actions that you have created from your vision board. You go to one action, you know, this is what I plan to do. And so today, within the first hour, by end of the day, some people would want to say, well, after every day, I would read a book before I sleep. That is your. And so on the next slide, I want you to do this quick exercise, right? Before I end my presentation. Let's do this very quick exercise. So whether your phone or on a piece of paper, write one goal that you have in mind. Example, whether you want to become a lawyer, you want to become a doctor, you want to start a clothing brand, you want to start a business, you want to start anything you want to do. Just put it down, right? Put it down on that sheet or on your phone. And then step 2, what are the 3 actions that you can take in the next 7 days? The next 7 days. For instance, if you want to do your master's, you may want to say, I would research scholarships online. If you want to, you can say you will contact a mentor, right? If you want to reach out to some colleagues, you can do so just to understand how to apply, how to go about your goal and all of that. What actions can you take? Just 3 of them. Just 3 of them. That will help you achieve the goal in step 2, right? And then in step 3, what is that one habit that you are going to start this week from tomorrow? What is that one habit that you are starting? What is that one habit that you are starting? Are you going to study 1 hour daily? If you are planning to fund your education, if you are planning to start your business, are you going to save 20 cedis weekly or 100 cedis weekly? If you are planning to build yourself as an expert in an area, would you want to read 10 pages of a particular book that you have? Would you want to expand your knowledge in a particular area? How many times, how many pages, how many books would you want to read by the end of the week, by the end of the month, by the end of the year? How many would you want to read? And then the final step. This is very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. Very, very, very important to putting you in check and to ensuring that you are on the line, ensuring that you are doing as you planned, as you said yourself, as you wrote yourself that you would do. Who will you tell this plan to? Ask yourself and write it down. Write it down. Who will I tell about this plan? Who are you going to tell the plan to? Do you have anyone in mind? It could be your friend, of course, a serious one who can hold you accountable, a colleague, a supervisor, a mentor. Who would you call on? Who will you reach out to? Who can you mention? Who can you bring on board to hold you accountable? This is a very key accountability question that a lot of the time we ignore, right? Because see, there's so much pressure. There is so much pressure when you wake up from bed. There is so much pressure, right? You need a job. How are you getting the job, right? You need to go to school. You are working, the pressures of work, the pressures in the office. You are doing this, you are doing your own business. So sometimes the distraction of the day sometimes do not allow us to stick to the plan that we have set for ourselves within a year or within a month. There should be that one person that can call you back and say, hey, my friend, my sister, my brother, at the beginning of this year, you planned to do this. You planned to take this action. What have you done so far? You need that one person. And so you need to write that person's name down and then look at how you can reach out to that person. Right. And so this is a very simple framework, an action exercise that I wanted to share with you so that from all that you have heard, from creating the vision board, which requires first the clarity you need in your vision, right? Some of us, there are a whole lot of things we have in our mind. Some of us, we do not. And that is why I really like the tools you can use to assess yourself, right? It helps to unveil some of the things that you need to know about yourself, which in turn also helps you to craft a vision because it helps you to know what you can do and what you cannot do so that you don't, fumble, you don't write everything trying to impress, trying to do everything on your own. No, you know your capacity. You know that I am not someone who can multitask in a day, in a week, in a month. And finish that goal within that 1 month before I move to the next. Your analysis of yourself, your clarity of who you are should help you to define your goal. And then in applying this framework that I have shared, the VAS framework that I shared, from vision to action to systems, you have the vision. What are the action steps, the action plan? And the action plan should have a time. It should have a timeline. So I want to do this within a month. I want to achieve this within 2 months, within 6 months, within a year, within 5 years. And then in your simple steps, you break it down to daily, weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, biannually, and then annually. You break them down so that in the end, you're able to go back and say, this month, this year, I wanted or I plan to do this. Have I been able to do it? No, I haven't. Why couldn't I achieve it? Okay, this is why I couldn't do it. This is why I couldn't do this. And so I need to re-strategize. And let me say that sometimes, an action plan basically is to help you, guide you achieve whatever you want to achieve, right? It is not cast in stone. It is something you should have at the back of your mind. We create action plans. We create plans to guide us to implement or to get closer to our goals. If you are not able to get closer to that goal because of A or B, don't beat yourself up. What you need to do is to review, to assess the plans you had and why you couldn't achieve them, and then re-strategize and move on.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Hi. So
Yes, I'm
sorry to
about.
cut you off. I just wanted to quickly draw your attention to the fact that we are far behind time, and so we should quickly be wrapping up the session. Thank you.
Yes, so I'm actually done. And my final slide says that dreams are free,
Mm-hmm.
but execution is intentional.
Great,
So
great,
it's for
great.
you to take that and then work with it. Yes, thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I am sure a lot of us have gotten some takeaways from this session that we would be implementing once we leave this workshop tonight. Lady Juliet, please, do we still have time for questions?
I think like 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just check the chat because I realized there were some. Oh,
Yeah. But then
some
if you have
questions
any
in there.
question, if you have a live question, or you can raise your hand on mute to please give out the question. We'll be sharing the link, our evaluation form link in the comment section so please fill it. And if you haven't joined our WhatsApp communities, do and follow us on our various social media handles so that we can serve you more. So if you have any question, let's try and get going.
Okay. All right. Any questions? No questions. Okay, Lady Juliet, it seems no one has questions now. So I'll
Okay.
take the silence as consent, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Also, if you feel like you would have questions later, again, the WhatsApp page is a good place for you to ask your questions later. Okay, I think I see one here. Now said, please, when you are failing in a particular area, could it be that you are not using the right strategy always? Could it be that you're not using the right strategy or always you're not on the right path? Lady Juliet, our facilitators still on to take this question.
Okay. So now says, please, when you are failing in a particular, could it be that you're not? Okay, so it could be either of them. As Emmaline shared a story, she was failing in that particular area because that wasn't her field. She wasn't on the right path. She was not supposed to be a medical doctor. She wasn't even supposed to be in the health sector, but she was forcing herself to be on that path. And then also sometimes you could be on the right path, but have the wrong strategy. So you need to analyze yourself and then also try to study the patterns. Why am I failing? Is there anything that I'm consistently doing? Am I changing my ways and still seeing the same results? Because if you are consistently doing the same thing, like I'm applying to a particular school, I'm not getting admission, but then I have never changed my statement of purpose. I'm using that same statement of purpose. I'm using that same CV. I keep adding things to it. I'm not making any changes. I've not sent it to anyone to review for me, and I'm complaining that I don't see why I'm failing at it. I mean, if I do something different and I still fail at it, then I can tell that, like, what could this be? And then also, you need to find somebody on that path. So mentorship, that's why mentorship is very important. If you're on that path and something is not going on well, find someone in that particular area who is doing so well that you can relate to. Let a person understand that these are my struggles. Look, I'm struggling with this particular area. I don't know why things don't seem to be working for me. So can you guide me? And when you share it, they can be able to guide you on what you're not doing well or what worked for them. So I think in that case, mentorship and then also trying to do better.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Lady Juliet. Last question has been answered. We are like, it's 9:26 now. So I would just want to say a very big thank you to all our facilitators. If you want to, hi, Edwin, your hand is up. Hi, Edwin, your hand is up.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Um, a very quick one. I
Okay.
think I was actually a little bit angry with myself this evening because I was working on a project and somehow um, it happened that it didn't go well, so I was angry about myself. But thanks for the session, has really helped me. And I have a question for Miss Juliet.
Okay.
You did mention that y- your weakness was um, one of your weaknesses was that you were not socializing, you were not building connections, and you realized that it wasn't well. So I want to know how you overcame that. Maybe you joined certain communities that also made you see reasons why you had to connect more. So maybe if you could throw more light on that. I'm really battling that.
Yeah.
Just because I messed up this project, I mean, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know who I'm going to tell, but I'm here. So thank you very much.
Okay, so addressing that quickly, I think don't there's nothing you can do about that now. So please don't be so hard on yourself. And then also I would say that with that, I came to that realization because I remember being at an event like when I receive an invitation for an event, I'll think so much about it before I go because I feel like when I'm dealing with a lot of people at the same time, I'm overwhelmed. But I also appear to people as a very extroverted person. So when I'm quiet or I'm just like trying to be by myself, people do not really understand and they feel like they've offended me. But I really also have like, although I'm extroverted, but I have a very introverted, personality as well, but most people cannot relate to that. So because of that, sometimes I just want to be by myself. And I realize that the space I find myself is not helpful because in the nonprofit space, you need to fundraise, you need to tell your story, you need to be visible. And for me, that has been like my challenge. So even with my socials, realize that I share, but I don't share so much. Like I would say I share just about 10% of the things I do because it's just like I don't want anybody knowing my business, which is not a very good character trait. So when I came to that realization, I decided to be more intentional. Let me just go for going sake, and I shouldn't restrict myself. And I think for me, it's also easier because when I find myself in the space, I'm not really like a shy person, so I can still network anyway. But the major problem is following up. So I will take your card, we can connect, switch contacts, and we may never like really talk again. You may even test me, and after 1 year, you realize I didn't respond to you because I would also keep saying that, oh, I'm not good with testing. I prefer calls to test and all of those things. I had to be conscious about it. There are days that I just set aside to say, oh, let me check up on this person, let me text this person, let me call this person, or let me just even send a broadcast to check up on it. Let me talk more about like I think you need to be intentional. Even if there are times that I open my notes and then I write to do like maybe communication or networking to do and then list the people that I need to reach out to, whether it will be via WhatsApp, call, or email, or and even try to see the message I'm sending them just to say that I have touched base with this person. So you have to be very more intentional and put more work into. So for some people, chatting on WhatsApp may just come as okay, normal. But then for some of us, it's still more or less like work, but you need to do it.
Okay. I hope that answered your question. If you would still want to follow up again, Mr. Edwin, the WhatsApp platform would be the best place for you to follow up. All right, all right. It is exactly 9:30. 30 minutes after we said we would actually close this session. And so I just want to thank all of you for sticking with us so far. You will be hearing back from the foundation probably in your emails with the recording and the materials that have been promised. If you're also on the WhatsApp page, I want to hope that all the resources that were promised during the session will be shared there as well. Again, please do well to follow the social media pages of the foundation. And my name is Joyce Amable once again. I'm a final year student at KNUST. And you can connect with me as well as all the speakers, the facilitators for the session on the various social media platforms. Thank you to our incredible host,
The
Lady
evaluation
Juliet, for
form. Sorry, the
yes,
evaluation form.
exactly.
The
Yes.
link is in there. So
Also,
if they
yeah,
can take
the
some time.
link to the evaluation form is also in the chat as well. So kindly take a few seconds of your time to fill that for us. It would help us evaluate how impactful this session has been to you. And once again, thank you so much, Lady Juliet, for organizing this event for the benefit of all of us. And on that note, I want to wish each and every one of you a good night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, Joyce. So bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.